We are heartbroken about this senseless act of violence, but we are so thankful for the quick response by law enforcement and school employees who prevented further injuries.
Thank you for joining us. First at 6 tonight, a teenage suspect is in custody. 3 people are injured after a shooting in Townville at the elementary school there in Anderson County. The superintendent says that school is going to be closed the rest of the week as a result of what happened today. Anderson County Coroner Greg Shore also telling us the teenage suspect fatally shot his father. He was found dead at a home on Osborne Road. Tonight we are keeping a close eye on the school shooting victims. The 3 victims were split up, taken out for treatment. One of the children was airlifted to Greenville Memorial Hospital. He was taken there because there's a trauma-level children's emergency room there. The other child and an adult, a female teacher, they were taken to ANMED, and we have learned that they have been released from the hospital. Extremely good news there. And our crews are monitoring the situation at each of those hospitals. Tonight we have team coverage for you. 7 News reporter Christine Brown at Townville Elementary, Nikhil Smith at the scene of the homicide on Osborne Road, Aaron Rogers at the Anderson County Emergency Operations Center, where press conferences are being held this evening to give us the latest information. First up, the information from the news conference from Aaron.
Well, we just had another news conference about 15 minutes ago. There we heard from officials who said that the emergency, the shooting happened on the playground of the school, and it was actually a volunteer firefighter who had 30 years of experience with the Townville Volunteer Fire Department who was able to take down that suspect. They actually said he did not have a weapon, but we do have video from those earlier press conferences that you are looking at now, and they said, confirmed that the suspect, a 14-year-old, shot his dad, then was able to get onto school property, onto that playground, shot teacher and 2 students. We're still not sure of the relationship between the shooting victims and that suspect. That's something we're hoping will get confirmed later on, but we do know that school has been canceled for the rest of the week. School officials are making sure that they give counseling services to any faculty or students who may need it, but we do have some sound here from the presser that we just had.
I want to thank the members of the Townville Fire Department and EMS for their quick response and their initial involvement. They was life saved by the actions of the fire and EMS personnel today, and the law enforcement response was phenomenal, and it was life saved because of the teamwork demonstrated today.
We just heard from Taylor Jones, who is with Anderson County Emergency Services, where we are standing right now. We do know that the governor is en route here. She will be talking to the officials here and hopefully speaking to us. We haven't gotten that confirmed just yet, but there will be another press conference here at 9 p.m. that we will, of course, have the latest updates for you right here on 7 News. Live in Anderson County this evening, I'm Aaron Rogers, 7 News.
Thank you, Aaron. Our Christine Brown is live at the school at Townville Elementary School, where this story started to unfold around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Christine, what's happening there right now?
Well, in the last 30 minutes or so, I would say a number of deputies, investigators have seemed to move out of the area. That being said, the presence is still heavy here. I'll step out of the way so you can see what we're looking at. We've got investigators from Anderson County, deputies from Anderson County still here. We've also got Red Cross on scene. Not many of them are up front. We saw a group of them come out of that area you're looking at right now on the camera. But as we've heard in the press conference, the shooter was back on that playground, according to law enforcement. One of the Townville firefighters that responded first on scene was able to tackle him. That was amazing information we just learned recently. We also learned in that press conference that he was unarmed and took that shooter to the ground with force, purely force. Now, we've also seen some teachers around this school. We haven't been able to talk to them just yet. They haven't been able to talk to us, I should say. But we have seen many of them who came back to the school, who came back to get their keys, their purses, after they rushed out to take students loaded up on buses to Oakdale Baptist Church, where their parents were able to pick them up. And while we were there at Oakdale Baptist Church, we were able to talk to some parents who said they were happy to see such a quick and fast and large response from law enforcement today.
Knowing that they're here obviously makes you feel a lot better. Anytime like that, you're not at a point where you can, in your mind, have enough of those the boys in blue there and the ladies in blue as fast as they can get there.
Now, I've also talked to several neighbors in the area who were actually inside of their homes when this shooting happened. Again, they said that they didn't hear any gunshots. They didn't hear any running around. The first thing they heard was all of the sirens blaring through as law enforcement and as firefighters and EMS were all first responding to the scene. And again, them along with those parents and along, I'm sure, with the teachers that we haven't been able to talk to yet, are really eager to figure out just who everyone involved was, who those injured were, and just to kind of get a grasp around this story as to what happened here and why it happened here, if they can understand just the capacity of that. But we'll learn more of those details as they come out, and hopefully we'll hear a little bit more as the night goes on and bring those details to you. For now, we're live outside of Townville Elementary School. I'm Christine Brown, 7 News.
And Christine, really quickly, a quick question for you. They talked about school being canceled for the rest of the week and that counseling would be offered. Have they said anything to you yet, or have you heard any detail about where parents will be going if they want to take advantage of that for their children or themselves?
That we have not heard yet. We assumed it was coming, but they haven't released those kind of details to us here on the scene. I'm not sure, considering there's still a heavy presence here, that there'd be anything like that tonight, at least here. So I'm assuming it'd be a different location. But again, once we get that kind of information, we'll be relaying that as soon as possible, because of course we want them to get those resources as soon as they can. Back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Christine Brown, tonight.
Now, as we have been telling you, there were 2 crime scenes involved in all of this today. Anderson County Coroner Greg Shore telling us that a man was found dead in his home on Osborne Road. You see, that scene is not far from Townville Elementary, maybe 3 miles or so. Coroner Shore says the man killed was 47-year-old and that his death is connected to the shooter at the school. Nikel Smith is live tonight. She's close to the scene of that homicide to tell us what she has been able to find out. Nikel.
Well, Tom, I'm here on Fairplay Road. It is just a few feet away from Osborne Road, which is a private driveway. As you can see, it's down here behind me where you see investigators are still on scene. This is still an active crime scene out here. That is the mobile command post that's been set up by there while they continue to collect clues and evidence. And this is what we've been told by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. They say that the body of 47-year-old Jeffrey Osborne was discovered there. We are told that he was shot to death. We have also learned that the relationship between Osborne and the shooter at that school is that Osborne might be the shooter's father. The Anderson County Coroner's Office also says a family member made a 911 call from the scene here after the shooting at the elementary school. Then crews arrived here to Osborne Road to find that Mr. Osborne was already dead on scene. We were told that there is only one home back there on Osborne Road. It is blocked off by some trees right now, so it is difficult to see exactly what is going on back there, but we are told that much of this property over here is owned by one family, and as you can tell, it's kind of a rural, pretty quiet area. But right now, crime scene investigators here on Osborne Road in this area just outside of Townville, it's about 3 miles out of Townsville, we're told, maybe about a 5-minute drive from the elementary school, but investigators still here now trying to figure out exactly what happened and what is the exact connection between what happened here and what happened at that elementary school. For now, live in Anderson County, Nikel Smith, 7 News.
All right, Nikel, we thank you for that. Now, of course, we've been keeping a close watch this afternoon on the condition of the 3 victims. 7 News reporter Brianna Smith is in Anderson. She is at AnMed. 2 people were taken there. Addie Hampton in Greenville at GHS. We're going to go to Brianna first for the latest on the 2 who were taken to that hospital. Brianna, we understand the news about them is very good.
Yeah, hey Tom, we just talked to the director here at AnMed, and they told me that both of those patients that were shot at Townville Elementary have been released, that they were in good condition when they got here, and that they were able to be released very quickly, as you can see by the time that's elapsed. Now, I did actually learn more about the shooter as well this afternoon, talking to a family friend that's very close to them telling me that the shooter is a 14-year-old and the son of the victim, Jeffrey Osborne, who was killed out there on Osborne Road where Nikel was just talking about. Now, they also tell me that 14-year-old was expelled from a school in Oconee County last year after he brought a hatchet to school to try and get after bullies, and he was further expelled and now homeschooled right now, and that's when this incident happened. That's what we know about this teen. We're told that he was in very good spirits over the past couple of weeks, that he was on the up and up and doing very well being homeschooled, and the family friend tells us that he is just numb right now because he can't imagine this happening to a better family, that this family is really heartbroken. And we're going to learn more about them. We're working to get you some sound from that family friend, and we're going to be getting it to the shows as soon as possible. But right now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, we want to go to our Addie Hampton. She, of course, is at the other hospital where a patient was taken the most severely injured. Addie Hampton, live at Greenville Memorial right now. Addie, what's the latest there? Any update on the condition?
So far, that condition still remains at critical from what we are hearing from people here at Greenville Memorial Hospital. We were actually here for a separate story, happened to be working on our story right across the street when that life flight arrived here at Greenville Memorial. We actually also saw it depart coming over the trees just a couple hours later. We do know that that child, that 6-year-old boy, critically injured, is being treated in their level 1 trauma center here. We are told they are going to continually keep us updated on his condition as the night progresses. Of course, this is the tough part now, is the waiting game on top of an already terrible day, a terrible situation. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family as this continues. And of course, as we learn his updated condition, we will be bringing that to you right here on scene, guys.
All right, Addie Hampton, thank you. Of course, this is Bible study night for Oakdale Baptist Church, where all of those students were taken in the aftermath so they could be reunited with their parents. They got that terrible text message to come pick up your children, and learned of this shooting at their school.
Our Dave Jordan has been there since all this began. He's talked to numerous families who have come out there and shared their thoughts, their experiences on this day. Let's go to Dave Jordan. Dave.
Hey there, Tom and Amy. Yeah, this was the scene where family members came to collect their children after Townville elementary students were taken away from that campus. They were bused over here to Oakdale Baptist Church on Highway 74 in Townsville. That's about 10 minutes away. And parents came here frantic, emotional, and anxious to connect with their children. I believe we have some video of just some of the scene that you could see over here. Now, we had parents coming here, but in addition to that, we had a heavy law enforcement presence here as well. Several parents telling me that they got the alert on their phone and they rushed right over. I believe we have some sound. Let's go to that right now.
It just come up, alerted me on my phone, and at first you think, oh, I don't know what to do. Is it really happening and going on? And then started hearing broadcast and got in the car and came up.
Obviously the worst, but at the same time, hopeful in prayers that everything was okay. It's not ever a situation that, obviously, it's not a phone call you ever want to get, but in the end, everything worked out, and at least for my son and I, he's okay.
Now, a lot of the parents tell me they were very relieved, obviously, when they reconnected with their children. It was a very stark contrast, because when they came here, a lot of them just heard that there was an incident at the school, come collect your children, and then they heard the news broadcast about a shooting. So when they came here, they didn't know what to expect. And when they left, obviously they were a lot more relieved. Some of the children didn't even know what was going on, but one 4-year-old, Amber Jolly, came over to my camera and told me a bad guy came to our school today. So this is something a lot of parents are going to be discussing with their children, and there are a lot of relieved families tonight that their children were not hurt in this incident. We are live tonight outside of Oakdale Baptist Church on Highway 74 in Townsville. Dave Jordan, 7 News.
Yeah, we'll keep all those families, children in our thoughts and prayers again tonight, Dave. Thank you so much for that. Again, here is what we know, the bottom line and what has happened today. A shooting at Townville Elementary. 3 people hurt. 2 were 6-year-old students. 1 was a teacher. A boy and a female teacher were taken to Anderson Area Medical Center, and we have learned they have been released, so extremely good news there. Another child was airlifted to the trauma center at Greenville Memorial Hospital. We're waiting to get an update on the condition on that child. There is a second crime scene connected to the shooting at the school. You've been hearing about that in our news. Osborne Road in Anderson County. It's not far from the school, and that's where authorities say they found 47-year-old Jeffrey Osborne shot to death. The juvenile suspect in the school shooting, 14 years old, is in custody. A volunteer firefighter from Townville tackled him. Authorities say that shooter is tied to the victim in the Osborne Road shooting. School officials say they have canceled classes at Townville Elementary for the rest of the week.
And 7 News is coming right back with continuing coverage as we follow the Townville Elementary School shooting.